Hey, welcome back. It's to be here. I'm still in Kenya. I'm here live, just enjoying myself. I'm kind of in the final countdown of my time here in Kenya. So I found I've been to meet a lot of interesting people. Did some good interviews. That's going to be dropping on my channel. Got a chance to go to the what's called one of the biggest slums in Africa. That was an interesting experience. Got a chance to see the luxury houses. Got a chance to see some Airbnbs, different areas. Definitely like it here a lot in Kenya. All right, I'm just here checking things out, doing this live, seeing if anybody's going to join. Um, yeah, a lot of interesting things are going to drop here in Kenya. A lot of fun. If anyone's interested in becoming, I'd highly recommend it. Right now, this is moving up to probably my number one destination. I think it's overtaken Thailand at this point. Yeah, just got a chance to eat at a restaurant. Uh, Good price. I'd say things are about that same meal that I had. I went with two. I went with my son. We had, drinks. We had main course. We had desserts. That probably would have cost anywhere from like 70 to maybe $80 in the States. It was about close to $40. So for that caliber of restaurant, it's definitely a good price here. All right, so welcome. Yes, if anybody's here, anybody gonna join me here in the chat? Yeah, the weather is. Hey, if you ever want to come here, weather's pretty cold, especially for the summer. So that's something to keep in mind. I got like one sweater, man. If you look at my content, man, we rock like the same black sweater. Unfortunately, man, I would have brought more. I just didn't believe it was going to be this cold, man. Those are it's like San Francisco, I would say, in terms of the weather. Like right now, I'm outside. I probably should have a sweater on right now. Yep. Yeah, that's what it is, man. Whew. Yep. So this is those that are just coming on this channel. It's XID. Traveled. They've been doing it for man. This is I think the first time I left the country. It's been it's been probably like 25 years ago. Now, how things have changed, I would say. Um, I'd say when I've traveled Years ago, I think people were just kind of excited to see another like foreigner or American or something like that when you should travel abroad. Now people act like they don't even care. They don't even want to see you. Okay, it's kind of I find more like stuck up travelers than I find years ago. At least the places I've gone to. I like it where people are a little bit more down to earth. You know what I mean? And maybe that's not traveling so much to like the hot spots. Like your Thailand, your Philippines, your Vietnams, your uh, places like that. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Yeah. So yeah, I'll stick on this chat maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes or so and see maybe if anybody will hop on. If not, I'm going to sign out. Yeah, hopefully this chat is going to grow. I'm particularly interested in people that are interested in traveling. That'll be really fun. I can answer questions. Maybe we can talk about places we've been to. Um, let's say as a traveler, I think we're always interested in different destinations to see how much we like it. I think we're interested in, like cost of living, um, kind of the vibe, how receptive they are to other tourists. Is it somewhere that you're interested in traveling to for a long time, or is it just something that's cool for like, I don't know, a couple of days or a week? It's much different. When you travel, what I notice, I'm available in the summers for traveling. And I notice my criteria for a place for the summer is totally different than a place for just a small vacation. Totally different requirements. I think that's why I'm finding that Nairobi is becoming my number one place more so than Thailand. And that's because this is about being here long term, like for longer than a month. And I really like an environment where you can interact with more of the locals, um, and get more local friends. And the reason why that's important is because that's more stable in the people that's there. If you're just making friends with different tourists, they're going to be in and out. And then the next time you come to a place, they'll be gone, and then you have to start all the way over. And so it's nice if you know that it's local people that's going to be there, because the next time you show up, they'll be there. Chances are, unless they're traveling, but chances are they'll be there. So you have that sense of consistency. Um, that's what I was hoping to find. These more vacation places. That's kind of the problem. You might meet a traveler that's there, and it's like, oh man, that's great. Maybe you'll get a chance to hang out, maybe not. But the next time you come, they won't be there. And so that's why it's good to go to a place that the local people are friendly and they're receptive to you. That might be different based on maybe if you're black or not, that might be different. I don't know. I've had certain situations where I've been in certain countries, and uh, I've had other, friends that are of different nationality per se. And they said, "Oh man, I met the local people, and they invited me over. They invited me in their house, and oh, they were so warm and so friendly." And I'm like, man, I didn't get that same treatment, So it's really, but when it comes down to traveling, um, it's about what that means for you. Um, I would say that's the same let's say when I met people in Africa and they had friends that traveled and they were saying like, "Oh, my friend told me America was like this and it was like that," and I said, "Well, you know what? That might not be your experience. You know, like they didn't really get a chance for a black person to tell another black person what America's going to be like. You know, it's a different experience than maybe some of the people that were coming to do volunteer work or they didn't really tell them that type of experience. But you know what? Things are changing. This is more. Um, this is a different time. There's more stuff on the internet. There's more stuff on basically pretty much the internet. That's where you get more like raw, unfiltered truths. So I think people are starting to understand each other a little bit more. Yep, that's what it's all about, man. I look forward to the day where this is going to be filled with, just people interested in the topic. That wants to talk a little travel, talk about moving to different countries, talk about being an expat. That's going to be really fun. It's a process. It's a process. Um, it can be a patient process. It can not be a patient process. I've been through both. I've been through a situation where I wasn't patient, and the first opportunity, I saved up just a little bit of money, and I was out. And that was fun, but you know what? Time is limited. You know what I mean? And it's good to dip your feet in the water when you do that. However, it's nice to be in a situation where it's stable and you can go back. So then you won't make decisions that are like Hail Marys. You know what I mean? Like for example, doing something like YouTube, right? It's fun. I enjoy it. Like hopefully this channel will get big enough and it'll drive in some income and I could have some more like fun projects and stuff like that. Um, and that can be supported by YouTube. That would be awesome. But I'd hate to be in a situation where like I am trying to force this into a full time income. And so I'm like clickbaiting the hell out of you and doing all that type of stuff, man. That wouldn't be cool. So it's good to be set up in a way where you can go abroad and you kind of have a certain level of stability. That's fun. I've been on the other side where, the slightest thing goes wrong and out the country. That's I've been in situations where I'm working a really low paying job just to be abroad. And I did meet a lot of good friends and I was in a different type of environment. I'd probably choose that environment over some of the higher paying environments. Uh, Not all, but some. But when you're overseas, you barely make a lot of money. Man, people's attitude change. I feel like the smiles start to fade away a little bit when the money runs out. As a reality too. So that is definitely something to consider. But it's definitely a process, and how you plan it out. I decided, I'd dip my feet in the water a little bit, and then I played the long game. And when I got a chance to play the long game, that's how I was able to be overseas in a way where I know that, this next year coming, I'll be overseas, and it's been like that for the past 5 years. So that's I don't regret that. I don't regret going back to school and kind of purposefully getting an advanced degree in something that I know that could sustain me abroad. That's a good way to be. If you're not doing it in like military, or if you're not retired, and hey, if you don't have some type of like uh, online remote income or something like that, which a lot of that stuff is actually drying up. If you don't have that, it's good. A lot of people would say don't go to another country depending on a job, but there's another side to that. You actually could, depending on what field it is, you actually could. And that's what I did. And so there's ways of doing it. If you want to take the teacher route, um, timing is important. Your experience is important. Uh, your connections are important, like who you know. A lot of what goes on, it's timing and who you know. That's a good part of the game. And just being open minded. If you're open minded towards a country that you may not necessarily consider, um, one funny thing I can tell you is I'm in the Middle East, and man, I love it here, man. It's crazy. I keep looking back, like I'm kind of shocked how much I like it. And I mean, for me, it fits my personality. Um, that's just the way it is, man. It fits my personality. And there's a different criteria for living versus vacation. Different criteria. Yeah, I'll probably make an episode on that because that's important to know. All right. Well, I've been here about 15 minutes. Chat's not really jumping like I've seen before. So I'll probably sign off, and I will talk to you later. All right. If you guys are watching this on my channel, feel free to watch some other videos and look at my upcoming interviews and content coming out. Should be a lot of fun. Okay, it's been a nice adventure here in Kenya. All right, so if you're stumbling across this video, man, check it out, man. Respect. That means you like my page if you're kind of deep in the trenches if you're watching this. All right, so next, Pat D. Peace out.